I notice I wear this shirt in a lot of my videos, but it's really like broken in and soft. You know how that feels, right? And I like the gray and the little specks, but yeah, it's just soft and soft things. Hey Booktube, it's Kim at Middle of the Book March. Don't have a clue what date it is. It's my Bookish week for Sunday. Oh man. I had Friday off from work just for the heck of it, and now I have no idea. I know what the day is, I just don't know the date. The 4th, 5th? No. 3rd, 4th, 6th? 5th or 6th? Pick one. I finished a book last week, but I had a good week, a good bookish week. So let me tell you about the book I finished, and then I have some other books to show you. I read Pleasantville by Attica Locke. This is the second book in the J. Porter series. Attica Locke is a mystery crime writer, and after finishing this book, I've read all of her published novels so far. And I'm really getting a little impatient, like, is she gonna come out with another book? My favorites were Bluebird and Heaven My Home. Those were the latest. So yeah, I'm waiting for a book. Let's go. But this comes after her very first novel, Blackwater Rising, and it's the same detective character, lawyer. He's a lawyer. This is set in a town in Texas called Pleasantville, and it's kind of a community of Houston. And J. Porter is the local kind of small town attorney. However, he has been the lead attorney in some class action lawsuits due to environmental catastrophes around the community. This is very heavily a political election-based mystery and crime. It opens up with a young woman who is believed to be a campaign worker and goes missing. So now the community is in shock, and there's an election happening, and both sides of the candidates are wondering what happened, who was she working for, which side. There was some question, was she actually a campaign worker to begin with? How did she disappear? Who could have taken her? Did she leave on her own? There's all kinds of questions. So that is how you think the book is going to develop. It does not. This is far more a book about an election and politics, small town politics. And, J. Porter as an attorney is being followed, he's being harassed. Who's all behind that? Is it a political thing? Is it one side against the other? Is it rotten politics, corruption? Probably all of it, but this book did not make me content at the end, because I wanted the majority of the story to be about the missing woman. It wasn't. It was about the political intrigue. And yes, the sub-story was, this missing young woman. Who did it? There was a political campaign manager that was brought in for questioning. But I was really just, disillusioned completely. I could care less about all the politics and, the behind the scenes and who's having affairs and who's, working both sides. I just didn't care. I wanted to know what all of that had to do with this missing woman. And I don't want to make any spoilers, but at the end I was like, what the hell? What? If that was how the book ended, it should have been a different book. It should have been a different story. I kind of suspected probably halfway through, but the way that the book ended, it was like, no, that's not how a mystery is supposed to wrap up. So I really disliked this one. I like Attica Locke as a writer. Her last two books were fantastic, so I really loved those. This one, I didn't really enjoy this. And I was just kind of hankering for a crime mystery. So that's actually what I've been kind of gearing towards these days, just to have something fast and well-paced, well-plotted, good characters, fun story. That's what I've been looking forward to. I've been reading a lot of those. That's what I finished. So what else went on last week? I started this book, The Only Plane in the Sky, An Oral History of 9/11 by Garrett M. Graff. I have the hard copy. This has photos in it. And I started it on audio. I had to put it down because this happened 22 years ago. The 22nd anniversary is coming up quickly. And I still have a difficult time reading the accounts and listening to the audio. The audio was just heartbreaking because it includes actual recordings from some of the people in the planes that crashed, the flight attendants. You can hear the voices of some of the terrorists while they're on the planes. You can hear all kinds of other things, and it's just not the right time for me to get involved in this book. I just could not. I couldn't stick with it at this time. I will go back to it because I really do want to read the book, and I might have to go to it in hard copy. I'm not sure if I'd be able to mentally handle the audio. I am currently reading a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be finishing Farewell Happy Fields by Nora Holt with Britta Bowler. We are buddy reading this for our Irish Women Novelist project, and still reading this. Going to be finished, I think, on Wednesday. I am reading a Booktube prize book in nonfiction for the finals, My Fourth Time We Drowned, Seeking Refuge on the World's Deadliest Migration Route by Sally Hayden. Sally Hayden is an Irish journalist, and this is one of the 2 books that I need to read for the nonfiction finals. So reading that one. And I'm going to be starting a buddy read today with Marcella of Marcella and Her Books. And this is, let me see. This is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, translated from French by Raj Schwartz. This is in honor of Women in Translation Month, and I'm going to be getting going on this book today. And I am currently reading A Gift from my friend Heidi at My Reading Life. This is A Rip Through Time by Kelly Armstrong. She had this on her channel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good. I have to look into Kelly Armstrong. And lo and behold, she sent me this book for my birthday, which is good because I had it in one of my online carts and was about to pull the trigger, and this showed up in my mailbox along with another book that looked really good. So I started this one, and I'm already in. It's hooked me. I'm in. I'm only like 2 chapters in, but I'm in. And it's really good because it grabs you immediately. It pulls you right into the story. So, what else do I have to talk to you about? I have a small library haul. My daughter and I found a library book sale last weekend, the weekend of my birthday. We met my mother-in-law for breakfast, and we went to this library sale. The books were 50 cents and $1. So all of these books, except for one, happened to be hardcover. The only paperback I bought for 50 cents is The Ambassadors by Henry James. I have a few other Henry James books, but I don't have this one. And this is one of those Barnes & Noble paperbacks. It's in perfect condition. It's never been read. And if you ever buy the Barnes & Noble, or these are the older style Barnes & Noble classics, the fonts are really a good size. So they're a good size. They have footnotes of explanation at the bottom. There's a really good introduction in these books, so I was really happy to find that one. Now, this next book, the rest of the books are all hardcovers, and they were all library discards. So that doesn't often happen. A lot of times when I find jackpots at library book sales, they are donated books. But these are all discards, and some of them look like nobody ever checked them out. Now this one is The Splendor Before the Dark, a novel of the Emperor Nero by Margaret George. I tried to read a Margaret George novel with Britta, Helen of Troy, and I DNF'd it. I think she finished it, but really disliked it. And so that one was not successful. I'm going to try this one. It was $1. And so I've seen this book a bunch of places. I'm going to try Margaret George again. She writes ancient historical fiction. I'm going to try it, see how it goes. I can't beat that for $1. I bought a book I bought 2 books I already read. I'll tell you why. This one is one I've already read. It looks to be brand new. They're all covered with the Mylar, but this is The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. This was a charming novel. We read this in my In Real Life book group years ago. It's about books. It's about a little Paris bookshop. this was charming and quaint and nice and fun to read, and I thought I'm going to buy it for $1 and reread it. This is another one of those books it's been popping up all over the place, and I'm like, you know what, I would enjoy rereading that. Surprise, surprise, it would be a reread. This one is totally off on a whole other, on a different extreme. This is The History of Violence by Edouard Louis. And this is kind of a novelization of his true story. And I think I don't know if this was in an award, in a prize list a couple years ago or so. I saw this on Booktube, but I thought, for $1, it looked interesting when it first came up. This is, here's the blurb, a part of the blurb. On Christmas Eve in 2012 in Paris, the novelist Edouard Louis was raped and almost murdered by a man he had just met. This act of violence left Louis shattered. Its aftermath made him a stranger to himself and sent him back to the village, his family, and the past he's sworn to leave behind. So, it's a novelization of his true story. It sounds very disturbing to read, but it just seems like a very good book. And this is a great book for Shorty September. I've been collecting Shorty books. I have a special shelf for them. I'm going to add this to that collection. Here's another book I've already read. Now, this one might be surprising because I read this a couple years ago for the Booktube prize. I didn't love it. However, I want to reread it because at the time I thought maybe I was reading it too fast because I had to judge it, and I didn't give it a good chance. So many other people have loved it, and it's a retelling of Greek and Roman mythology. This is The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker, and it's, almost brand new. Library discard, but almost brand new. I'm going to try it again. I'm not wasting $1. It's $1, and one of the reasons I love library book sales is because I get great deals, but because I get to support the libraries. They use those funds for library programs, and I am all for that. The next one, this is nonfiction. I got 2 nonfictions. This is The Neuroscientist Who Lost Her Mind, My Tale of Madness and Recovery by Barbara K. Lipska. And I think, again, this popped up somewhere online, and I'm like, ooh, that looks really good. And it's super short, so hey. As a deadly cancer spread inside her brain, leading neuroscientist Barbara Lipska was plunged into madness, only to miraculously survive with her memories intact. And this is a lovely cover. Is this another one that would be good for Shorty September? Actually, yes. Here we go. Here's 2 that I'm going to add to the pile. Where did I put that other one? There it is. So I'm going to add 2 more books for Shorty September. This is the other nonfiction. This is Notes from a Young Black Chef, a memoir by Kwame Onwuachi. I hope I'm saying that right. With Joshua David Stein. And this looked really good. This is, again, like, the book is in pristine condition. I don't know why they're discarding brand new books. By the time he was 27 years old, Kwame Onwuachi had opened and closed one of the most talked about restaurants in America. He had launched his own catering company with $20,000 that he made from selling candy on the subway, yet he'd been told he would never make it on television because his cooking wasn't Southern enough. In this inspiring memoir about the intersection of race, fame, and food, he shares the remarkable story of his culinary coming of age. He was a contestant on Top Chef, and I thought, that looks really good. That's interesting, and I'm not always into food books, books about food or cooking. I know how to cook, but I'm not a very enthusiastic cook. This looked really good, so, picked that up. Last book, this is a novel. This is a novel that I've had on my mental radar for a really long time. This is American War by Omar El Akkad. This has been, again, on my mental TBR. I love this hardback cover. I wasn't crazy about the paperback. I don't know why. This is his debut novel. He takes us into a near future in which a politically polarized America descends into a second civil war, and amid warfare, a family fights to survive. This $1. $1 for all of these hardbacks. So how many did I get? I think I got 7. I got 7 hardbacks and 1 paperback. I spent $7.50 at the library book sale on my birthday weekend. So extremely thrilled with that. That is it for me for today. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books or what you think about my review of Pleasantville or what you think about anything. Hope you're having a good weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.